Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on in. In today's video, we're going to be looking over this Black Ops 7 Zombies blog for the upcoming release of obviously Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Now, a little bit about me if you haven't watched my intro video to the channel. I'm a Zombies veteran, right? I'm 24 years old. I started playing Zombies during Black Ops 2 and have played every experience since then, the good and the bad, of course, going back to World at War and Black Ops 1. But Zombies is the game, I guess technically mode, but the game that I've spent the most amount of time and put the most amount of hours in and have played consistently. So for me, I am excited about the upcoming launch of Black Ops 7, and maybe that's just me being a shill, but I am excited, and I know that's not a very popular opinion for Black Ops 7, but I'm excited about obviously the upcoming experience of Ashes of the Damned, but all the content that's going to be coming in the game with all the survival maps that are going to be introduced, as well as the new cursed mode, which is going to bring back that old classic mode that us Zombies fans love, the older Zombies fans, I should say, with the old point system, the old perk system, everything like that. I am excited to test that mode out and go through all the relics to upgrade your cursed mode. I am excited about that. So yeah, if you are as well, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as I'm ready to check out this blog. For me, I like to do everything in Zombies. Easter eggs, obviously my favorite thing to do, but I love camo grinding. I love going for the challenges, the high rounds, everything. I'm looking forward to that for this upcoming Black Ops 7 game. And let's go ahead. Let's take a quick look here at the blog. I am pretty zoomed in because I know there's images and I just want to get a good look at all of the images, see if I can pick anything out. Now, the only thing I've seen for the upcoming game is the official stuff released by Treyarch, right? In the dev talks, in the trailers, but I really haven't watched any gameplay specifically from all the other YouTubers that went to COD Next and got to record early footage. I wanted my first experience of the gameplay to be my own first attempt, right? I like going into these things blind, right? This looking at a blog before a game releases and then experiencing it firsthand. That's really fun for me, getting a lay of the land of the new game and the menus and everything. So didn't really want to take a whole lot of take a look at that stuff until I get my hands on it. But yeah, let's start here with a second glance at Ashes of the Damned, which is the new map coming out. And let's take a look at the POIs. Of course, we got Janus Towers Plaza, which is where we were teleported to at the end of the Reckoning Easter egg, right? No matter what side you chose, you got teleported to the Dark Ether in the lobby of Janus Towers, and this is going to be our first point of interest where we spawn. I'm trying to look at anything, whether there's a perk or a wall buy. You can see a wall buy kind of right there. Just trying to get any information that I can in the spawn room, right? So not seeing anything off of RIP, but this is going to be one of the main points of interest for this map, right? It's kind of a transit re-inspired. To me, this is I guess this is the Buzz Depot, right? This is where you're going to spawn in. It's going to be a main point of interest. Another one is, of course, Van Doren Farm, which we all played in the beta. That is the only gameplay experience I have, is playing the beta of Van Doren Farm when that was out, a month ago or so. But yeah, Van Doren Farm, we kind of know this area, right? Unless there was a little bit more that we didn't see, but I kind of highly doubt that this is going to be the main area for the farm, right? You got the farmhouse, you got the barn over here, and then you got this little shed back here. The main thing I'm noticing is where the Wonderfizz spawned. This is going to be where Stamina Up is located for this map. Let me move this down since I'm leaning in just a little bit, and let me move this over so I'm centered. And then, of course, you got the wall by right here. Then you got Blackwater Lake, and this one looks very interesting to me. Growing up in Colorado, right, I love, obviously, snow, and kind of this snowy cabin is giving me a lot of vibes of up in the mountains, which is it's kind of my vibe. I love the snow, love chilling in a cabin in the woods, in the mountain. The main thing I'm noticing here, and this is just my quick observations, who knows, I don't know if you guys are going to find this video interesting or entertaining or whatnot, but main thing I'm noticing is the pool table. It doesn't look like it has the billiard balls on it, but I do wonder if that pool table Easter egg from Black Ops 6 is going to be returning in Black Ops 7 for the 300 points. And if it is this the pool table you shoot at, or is there another one? Then we take a look here at Ashwood, and to me, this kind of looks like a western town. Looks like you kind of got a garage or a blacksmith shop. Right here, you got the Wonder vehicle that we'll be using to traverse the map. And this kind of looks like that same garage down here. I wonder if this is a trap or something right here. And then, I guess other observation, these two corner pictures kind of look like, or at least reminds me of a generator from Origins, where you would power it up to turn on that section. I doubt it's going to work like that. Maybe it does, but it does kind of look like an Origin generator, especially with all the power lines going into it. I definitely think this is going to power something. But that's, like I said, that's kind of my early thoughts. It looks like a western town, right? Kind of got a building falling in. Looks like you got a ramp, which I think we might have driven through in one of the trailers that I've seen, right? But yeah, let's go to the next one, which is Exit 115. And I believe this is going to be the next survival map released, if I'm remembering things correctly. Of course, you got the highway exit sign right here. And it does obviously remind me of the Transit Diner, which I guess it should, because it is inspired from Transit. But yeah, looking for anything inside, it looks like you've got that trap that we had on Van Dorn Farm right here on the inside. I can't tell if that's a perk. I don't think it is. I think that's just a soda machine, because I was thinking that kind of looks like an Elemental Pop perk machine, but I just think that's a normal soda machine for decoration. And then I'm not noticing anything jumping out at me. Maybe I'm missing something. There looks to be something maybe in that window right here. You got a wall by back here, but I'm not seeing anything major at, what is this, Reba's Diner. Then you got the Zarya Cosmodrome, which looks a lot like Ascension, especially this bottom left pic here. That kind of reminds me of where you go to pack a punch on the map Ascension. And then, yeah, it looks like just a nuclear launch facility here. Yeah, Soviet era launch facility as another main point of interest. In terms of anything that I see, as I kind of see this plant, I wonder if it's going to have a growth system like Zetsubo, or like these other maps where you let something grow, or I guess the Shadows of Evil pods would be one where they can grow and then you can harvest stuff for a wonder weapon later on, or whatnot. But in terms of anything major, I'm not seeing anything. I do see this kind of doorway right here. I don't know if that's how you get into the room or if that's going to lead somewhere. But yeah, there is the Cosmodrome. Then you got the fog, which I do know a little bit about the fog. It's not going to necessarily be round-based when you're in the fog, right? You're going to have a bunch of super sprinters, a bunch of Ravagers, even though Zursa chasing you in here. But there are some things in here to grab. I would expect some stuff for the Easter egg or Wonder Weapon parts are going to be in the fog that you need to grab. Of course, you got this dinosaur skeleton right here, looking for anything that I can see. You kind of got this ether, or I guess element 115. I guess this Ethereum, element 115 type of infused rock right here. You got a crashed helicopter. You got this, and this right here is giving me two types of vibes. The first one is a Call of the Dead type of ship, but the second one is this also really looks like the ship from Terminus in Black Ops 6, right? So Call of the Dead and Terminus, I'm getting that kind of vibe from the container ship. And then you got some type of little cabin right here in the fog. You got this floating pyramid, which I've seen in a couple other pictures looking at other points of interest. Got this little mushroom thing down here again, and then you got a car driving away, which that's not the Wonder vehicle. It looks like a sedan driving away, but I have to explore that more when the game comes out. The main quest launch timing, this is going to be important, Friday, November 14th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So that's going to be 11 a.m. for me in Mountain Time. Then, of course, you got the loadouts. We know what this is about. It's become the new modern zombies, whether us old fans like it or not. It's been that way since Cold War. And, I'm starting to come around, right? I enjoy every zombies experience for what they are. Of course, I do enjoy the older modes like Black Ops 3, like Black Ops 2. But I do like them for what they are. I know some zombies fans, they only want the classic and they hate the new modern zombies, and that's perfectly fine. But I typically enjoy most zombies modes. Vanguard not so much, but most zombie modes I do enjoy. But yeah, anyway, that's kind of a little ramble. Neither here nor there. We know what the loadout is, right? 30 different weapons, both ranged and melee weapons, right? And then 28 ranged, right? And then let's see, 2 melee weapons. And this is just off of launch, right? Obviously, more are going to be added, but we got 28 ranged weapons and then 2 melee weapons to choose from. Obviously, they can be pack-a-punched, upgraded, whatnot. Weapon prestige has, let's see here, enables a unique attachment for most weapons and a variety of camos. I know they released a blog on these unique attachments, but I believe they were the multiplayer versions. So we'll have to take a look at what the zombies versions are when we obviously get into the game. And then, of course, they have their own weapon camo progression for the mastery camos. Then we have the equipment and the player level unlocks for each equipment. You got the stem shot for level 21. These are our tactical equipments. You got the monkey bomb at level 24. You got the sight grenade at level 29, the hunter bot at level 42, and the Casimir grenade at level 47, as well as the decoy at level 50. And to me, I do find it interesting that the decoy is after the Casimir, right? Because the Casimir, in my opinion, is the clear best tactical. Could argue monkey bomb, but I do think it is the Casimir. So being able to unlock that earlier is interesting to me, at least in terms of the crafting table, right? Because you can craft this at the table earlier than you can craft the decoy. But I do wonder if the decoy is after the Casimir, because you can't put this in your loadout right away. You can only get it from the crafting table or when a zombie drops it, but you can start with the decoy in your loadout. So I do wonder if they put that at level 50 just because you can start with it, and it is probably the best tactical equipment you can start with in Black Ops 7. As for the lethals, you got the cluster grenade, the sticky grenade, the Molotov, the point turret, the C4, and the combat axe. So, yeah, I mean, pretty standard, right? Sticky grenade is going to be your Semtex, the Molotov. The point turret was in the beta, I believe, and it was okay. I didn't use it a whole lot. And then there's the combat axe, which I know a lot of other YouTubers talked about, specifically Milo that I saw. It's kind of a clunky animation where you pull your arm up and then you throw it. It feels like 2 animations of pulling it out and then throwing it, rather than in previous games like Cold War and like Black Ops 6. I felt it was one fluid motion, even though it's technically 2. When you pull it out, you can hold it before throwing it. But that's just me. That's what it was in the beta. We'll see if they fixed anything. In terms of the support, you get the Mangler Cannon at level 15, the Sentry Turret at level 21, the HKDs at level 30, the LDBR at level 38, the Hand Cannon at 42, and the Disciple Injection at 53. Interesting. Disciple Injection, not the Mutant Injection. I do think they got rid of Manglers. I don't think they're going to be in the game, but we'll see what's going to happen as the life cycle of the game progresses. As I guess one thing I should mention, I think the HKDS or the HKDs and the LDBR, they're like missile strikes, and I'm wondering how that's going to work in the Dark Ether, right? Obviously, you don't have a chopper gunner, so that's why it's not a support equipment in Black Ops 7. The exfil's been changed, right? Raptor 1's not going to come and pick you up. We saw how the new exfils work in the beta. So how are these missile strikes going to work in the Dark Ether? That's interesting to me. Obviously, that's more of a storyline type of thing rather than a gameplay type of thing. But yeah, these are the what's it called? I guess the score streaks, the support that you're going to be able to craft right away for Black Ops 7 Zombies. At level 11, you unlock your augment research, which we're carrying over all of our augment progress from Black Ops 6. So we're going to have all of those, plus each thing that carries over that's not new gets an additional major and minor augment. And when you complete it, you can equip 2 minor augments to your perks, your ammo mods, your field upgrades, all of that stuff. And speaking of ammo mods, you got Cryo Freeze. Fireworks is back from BO3, first time in a decade that's been in the game, which is crazy because I feel like it was a pretty loved ammo mod back in Black Ops 3. Then you got Napalm Burst, Shadow Rift, and Brain Rot. In terms of the field upgrades, you got Frenzied Guard, Healing Aura, Toxic Growth, and Ether Shroud. Of course, Toxic Growth returning from Cold War, which I'll be honest, I didn't really use it in Cold War. For me, it was mostly Ring of Fire, an Ether Shroud, and Cold War, as well as a little bit of Frenzied Guard. And then in Black Ops 6, there's a lot of Ether Shroud and Frenzied Guard for the most part. But yeah, there's that. And I'm interested. Well, the reason why it's not listed, I was thinking, where's Dark Flare? I thought that was in this game. I think it's because you get that off rip, right? I'm assuming you're going to be able to spawn in with that instantly. Here are all the levels you unlock. These new gobble, or I guess not all of them are new, but here's the levels that you unlock these gobblegums, right? The new ones are Power Vacuum, and technically it's not new, right? This was in Black Ops 3, but it's new in terms of the fact that it wasn't in Black Ops 6. You got Equipment, you got Round Off, and you got Armageddon and Gift Card. Those are the new ones. For the tacticals, right, we got the Stim Shot, which is going to be unlocked at level 0. You got the Stun Grenade, the Stim Shot, the Psych Grenade, the Hunter Bot, the Decoy, the Casimir, and the Sybil Monkey to start the year off for the tacticals. For me, I'm interested in the Psych Grenade, so this is going to explode on impact, releasing a lingering cloud of hallucinogenic gas that brain rots zombies. Okay, so essentially it's kind of like a pocket turn if you just want to turn one zombie. And then the Hunterbot personal defensive device hovers near and hones towards nearby special, elite, and high-value target enemies, and then it explodes on impact. That's interesting. I'll probably try it out, but I don't know how much I'm going to use that one. But then the rest we know: Decoy, the Casimir, the Monkey Bomb. We know what a Stim Shot does. We know what a Stun Grenade does. No Smoke Grenade this year. And this, I guess this year for Black Ops 7, there was one with Black Ops 6. But, hey, that's fine. I don't really think Smoke was used a whole lot. It was nice for the Richthofen boss fight in Reckoning. But other than that, I can't really think of a time when Smoke Grenades were super useful other than doing the challenges associated with them. Anyways, the lethals, starting off, we got a Frag Grenade. We got the Sticky Grenade, the Simtex. We got a Cluster Grenade. And the most fond Cluster Grenade memory that I have is the Infinite Warfare ones. Those ones in Infinite Warfare were so good, and I enjoyed using the Cluster Grenades in that mode. Of course, you got the Combat Axe, the Point Turret, the C4, and the Molotov. If I had to guess which one I'm going to use the most, it's probably either going to be Sticky Grenade, Molotov, or the Combat Axe. One of those three we will have to see. For the support, right, we got the Armor Plates and the Self-Revive Kit. You got the Disciple Injection, the Mangler Cannon, the HKDS, which isn't a missile like I thought previously, a missile strike. It is, let's see here. An aerial payload delivers wheeled hunter-killed drones which seek targets and explode. But I'm wondering how we're getting this payload in the Dark Ether. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it, but in terms of the story, I am wondering something that's going to be an aerial payload dropped into us or a missile. How is that going to work with the Dark Ether? Anyway, we also get the Arc XD, the LDBR, the hand cannon, the sentry turret, and I actually am surprised they added the dog into it. When I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, that's going to be in multiplayer, obviously, but I didn't think they were going to add it into zombies. Interesting to see how they're going to use this one. Let's see here. Deployable armored weaponized groundcraft featuring a large caliber turret and rocket pod, going to be 2250 salvage for this to unlock and buy it, and it actually unlocks immediately, so you don't have to reach a certain level if you want to use the dog score streak. As for the augments, essentially it's going to be the same as Black Ops 6, right? But we need to wait to level 11 to start upgrading and start continuing to gain these augments, which isn't a big deal if you're going to be playing constantly and be playing for a good amount of time like I am. However, as I mentioned previous, just to clear things in the air, the things that are being carried forward, or I guess carried over, like Juggernog, Double Tap, all those perks, they were receiving one extra major and one extra minor augment. And then when you finish fully augmenting your perks and researching the augments, you can actually equip one major and two minor augments on your perks, so they become even better than what they were in Black Ops 6. And when I say perks, I'm also talking about field upgrades and ammo mods and all that other good stuff. But yeah, here you can see Wisp T for the new perk, right? It's going to get all of its major and minor augments, and then when you finish researching it, you get that extra slot which you can equip a second minor augment, which is pretty cool to combo some stuff up to make these really cool combinations. If you liked two minor augments and you couldn't equip them before, now you can. So I am interested to see how the gameplay is going to change, being able to combine some augments. Here's going to be all the perks that are in the game, right? Stamina Up, Quick Revive, Juggernog, Melee Macchiato, Speed Cola, Voltrade, Death Perception, PhD Flopper, Deadshot Daiquiri, Double Tap, and Elemental Pop. All of the ones from Black Ops 6, plus the brand new Wisp T perk, which will be interesting to see how it's used. I don't think it's going to be great necessarily, but it'll be interesting to see how it is used and how effective it is going to be with its augments. But yeah, it summons a Wisp after killing zombies. I've seen the augment upgrades, and one of them that holds the final zombie of the round until it bleeds out. That one looks really nice for running around the map, trying to find different parts for the Easter egg, right? That one can be nice to have it babysit the zombie, so it's not running around and chasing you constantly. But yeah, we kind of know what all these perks do, right? So gonna skip over that. We got the ammo mods: Dead Wire, Napalm Burst, Cryo Freeze, Fireworks, Brain Rot, and Shadow Rift. For these ones, which ones do we unlock immediately? Dead Wire's available immediately, as well as actually, I think is that it? Yeah. Available immediately is Dead Wire, and then you're gonna unlock the other ones over time, right? Then for the field upgrades, you got Energy Mine, Frenzied Guard, Dark Flare, Toxic Growth, Healing Aura, and Ether Shroud. For the ones that we start immediately with through the year is going to be Dark Flare, and any others, yes, Energy Mine. Those are going to be the two you have at the start. And I think Dark Flare was a late unlock last year, and it wasn't it. It wasn't the greatest field upgrade, so I'm interested to see what little tweaks they've made. Obviously, they've tweaked some augments coming over to Black Ops 7. I'm interested to see how Dark Flare, how good it's going to be this year, or if it's going to be still kind of meh. As for the Gobblegums, let's see. Here is the unlocks for all of the Gobblegums again. But let's take a look at all of the rare Gobblegums, go through what each of them do. Right? Killjoy, it's going to spawn an insta-kill power-up. Cashback, it's going to spawn a max ammo power-up. It's kind of become pretty useless now, right? In Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4, this thing was amazing when you could only refill some of your guns with either ammo from a wall buy, right? Going up to it, interacting and buying there, or from a max ammo because there were no ammo caches. But with the ammo caches, it's kind of become not that great. Could be pretty useful in cursed mode, right? There's what's it called? It's not, what's it called for cursed mode? I can't remember the exact name. I said it at the beginning of the video, which makes it harder. but there's going to be one that takes away ammo boxes. So if you can use gobble gums in that mode, then could become pretty useful. Again, yeah, I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's just slipping me. Whatever, it'll come back to me here in a little bit. Temporal gift. It's going to extend the length of how long power-ups last. Stock option. Obviously, you fire from the stock and not from your main clip. Anywhere but here, teleports you to a random location on the map. Power keg is going to spawn a full power-up. You got tactical diffusion. It's going to negate the nuke's ability, right, of ending the round and killing all the zombies. Not necessarily ending the round, but killing all the zombies and taking it longer for zombies to respawn, and then give you 2,000 points when you pick up a nuke. Arsenal accelerator is going to charge your field upgrade faster, and then you have shields up, which is going to drop more shields from zombies, and I believe fill up your ammo or your armor reserves. And then you got aftertaste coming back from Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4. When you are revived, you are going to keep all of your perks. Still trying to think of what it's called when you're, it's like not a reel, right? But it's going to be these different things you add. Like, I said it at the beginning of the video. I just can't remember. Anyway, it's bugging me, but let's jump into the Epic Gobble Gums. You got Respin Cycle, which is going to respin the mystery box for you. You got Dead Drop, right? It's going to, what does it do? It's drop rates of salvaments and equipments are greatly increased. Requipment, that is a new one. We'll go ahead. Let's take a look at this one. Where is Requipment? There it is. That's for 5 minutes. Your equipment slots are refilled over time. Then you got Who's Keeping Score. Spawns a double points power up. Free fire. You get infinite ammo in your gun for a limited time. Exit strategy is going to call in an exfil even when there's not one technically available. You got the power vacuum, which power up drops are going to be increased over the duration of the gobble gum. You got profit sharing. That's going to obviously share your points with your teammates around you. Explosive flourish is reloading, creates an explosion around you. Then you got soda fountain. When you buy one perk, you essentially get another one free. It's a buy one, get one free. For example, you buy jug, and then it's going to give you a random perk of the other ones that you don't have. And then nowhere but there, teleport to your down teammate to revive them. For the legendary Gobblegums, we got 12 of them. Idolize, you're going to be standing in plain sight and the zombies can't see you for a certain amount of time. I think it's 30 seconds. Then you got Wall Power. The next gun you buy off the wall will be Pack-a-Punched. Flavored Hex becomes a random, I guess they're not mega Gobblegums technically anymore, but it gives you a random Gobblegum. I think it does that twice. At least it did it in the Black Ops 3 version. Immolation is going to spawn a fire sale. Support group, you're going to get power-ups. I think it's like 4 of them. That starts with, I can't remember, but then it gives you a sentry turret, a mangler cannon, a mutant injection. Let's see, we can see here exactly what it is. It gives you an RCXD, a mangler, a sentry gun, and then a disciple injection, I guess, in this game. You got round off, which is like directed mode, where if you end the round, it just restarts the round again, does that twice, and then the Gobblegum is gone. Phoenix Up is going to revive all your teammates, and they're going to keep their perks. Modified Chaos, it's something to do with the, I know it was added last year, I guess, in Black Ops 6, but what does it do exactly? Greatly reduces all ammo mod cooldowns, which, but I'm not judging these Gobblegums right now. We're just going through them. On the house is going to spawn a random perk power-up. The nice thing about random perks this year, though, is if you get a couple random perks, whether they're from drops, whether they're from Gobblegums, they're not going to count towards an upgrade cost of your next perk. So, for example, if your next perk costs 3,500 and you get 2 on the houses, or I guess not necessarily 2 on the houses, but 2 random perk drops, then your next perk will still be 3,500. Whereas if you were going for, or if you were playing Black Ops 6, your next perk would be 4,500 with you getting those 2 perks from a random, what's it called? a random perk drop. Then you have wall-to-wall clearance, which was in Black Ops 3. I remember, if I do remember correctly, and wall weapons buys cost 10 cents, which is nice, but I don't necessarily know if you're going to be running this in your pack, your Gobblegum pack. And then crate power. Obviously, if the next weapon you pick up out of the mystery box is going to be Pack-a-Punched. And then armor getting. I'm surprised they didn't add this in Black Ops 6, but you're going to spawn in, or you're going to get a tier 3 armor plate or armor vest. Then we move on to the Ultra Gobblegums. There's 7 of them. You get Perkaholic, right? Going to get all the perks on the map. Wonder Bar, when you spin the mystery box, the next spin is going to be one of the wonder weapons on the map. It's not going to be guaranteed the map exclusive wonder weapon. Could be the ray gun, right? Could be the Mark II. But you do get a wonder weapon out of the box for your next spin. Gift card, I think, is their new take on shopping free, because it would be so overpowered in this modern zombies if shopping free were lasted a minute and everything is free. That'd just be so overpowered in this game, right? So they had to kind of balance it out, and gift card, I feel like, is kind of that. It's going to spawn in 3,000, or not 3,000, 30,000 points for you. You got timed out, right, which just freezes the game. It's going to last 3 minutes, clears out all normal and special enemies, and ends the round. So it's going to clear everything out. Nothing's going to come after you for 3 minutes, and then normal spawning is not going to resume. So it clears everything out. Nothing's going to spawn, and you just have 3 minutes to chill and walk around the map. Then you've, of course, got near-death experience, where you can either walk near a downed player and they'll be revived, or if you have it activated, if a nearby player walks near you, you'll be revived. So you don't actually have to interact with them. You just have to be standing near them. And how long does this last again? 3 minutes or 5 revives. Yeah, I mean, obviously pretty good. Raindrop is going to spawn one of each power-up, and then Hidden Power is going to give you a fully upgrade, or I guess a gold tier weapon for your loadout, or whatever bullet gun you have in your hand that's not a wonder weapon. For the whimsicals, right, you got Newtonian Negation. Zombies you kill are going to fall up. Jack-lanterns, which I believe spawns zombies in with a, let's see here. Last for 3 minutes. Zombies have pumpkin heads, make creepy sounds. Then you got Indigestion, which zombies killed okay, yeah, they experience extreme flatulence. Then you got Rain Burps, which zombies killed belch sparkly rainbow bubbles. Quacknarok, they have the duck float around them. Die Pitched is going to be having the zombies have high-pitched voices. And then Holiday Cheer is going to have, they're going to have festive decorations on, right? All right, now we take a look at all of the different modes directed to Curse. Let's take a look at what they have to say about each mode. Of course, you got the training course, which was in the tutorial and new to zombies, just for the newer players to get a base and a feel on how zombies operates. But here we go. We got the standard, the traditional round-based zombies on the biggest round-based zombies map ever, Ashes of the Damned. Then you got Directed coming in at Season 1, a streamlined path through the zombies map where objectives and progressions are fully guided for the main quest to ensure zombies players can fully explore Ashes of the Damned with as few spoilers as possible. This mode will launch at the start of Season 1 later this year, which was expected, right? They're not going to give you how to solve the Easter egg in Directed mode right away. Part of the fun is going on that Easter egg hunt with the community and trying to figure out the main quest, and then, of course, completing the main quest and doing it yourself before jumping into Directed. Then you got Survival. Attempt to survive smaller confined locations for as long as possible. The first survival map is will be Van Dorn Farm, playable at the launch, or it was playable in the beta, and it will be playable at launch for this. And then, by the way, there are relics. There are relics for the Curse mode. I just remembered that. Maybe it's because I saw this and subconsciously remembered. But yeah, it is the relics that will take away the ammo boxes. Anyway, there's just a bunch of relics that add difficulty to it. But I think it's about to explain that here. a more challenging experience for advanced players. It's all of us who have played essentially since zombies became a thing. Additionally, players can discover and activate relics to face even harder challenges in exchange for new levels of power and rewards. And I'm excited for this. I'm excited to find how you're going to unlock these relics. Like, what are you going to have to do to unlock them? And then how are you going to activate it in a curse mode, right? Is it going to be a menu where you can activate and unactivate what you want to do to fully customize it? If you've ever played Phasmophobia, they have the custom difficulty, right, where you can go through all these settings and objectives, and it gives you a multiplier for how much money you're going to make when you leave. I'm wondering if it's going to be a system kind of like that, or how it's going to work. We'll have to check that out when Black Ops 7 releases in a few days, obviously. Here's another glimpse at curse mode. Once you found out how to access curse, the real challenge begins. Your focus now shifts to following the rules that govern this mode. And I believe what they said in a dev talk is when one person, so whoever completes the Easter egg first, right, completes that main quest first, that's when curse is unlocked for everyone. I believe that's what they said. Maybe they changed it. Maybe I misheard that. But I believe that's how curse is going to be activated. So you got the relics. Acquire relics by completing challenges in curse mode, which is cool. I'm excited to figure out how we do that. Then you got tiers. Equip relics to increase your current tier level and add unique challenges and bonuses to your match, right? So the higher the tier, the harder it's going to get. And then you got rewards. Complete curse at different tier levels to unlock exclusive rewards. And I believe, obviously, complete is going to be doing the main Easter egg. Then you got relics. These are significant debuffs to increase the challenge in a cursed match. There are 9 to find across Ashes of the Damned, and I do hope they add more as the year goes on, right? As each season progresses, as they add new DLC, I do hope they continue to add more relics to make it harder. And just don't forget about this mode, right? Because it's going to be easy to forget about. Continue to add things to this mode to make it more classic and to make things harder for yourself. The more potent the relic, the greater the challenge you'll face when the relic is chosen. However, the more potent the relic, the greater your tier power becomes. With relics adding significant challenges to your matches, you'll want some otherworldly assistance as well. This is where tier unlocks will come in. There are 3 tiers to unlock before you drop into your next curse match. A tier A. A tier bar fills up as you choose the relics you wish to employ for your next match, which it's kind of sounding like that Phasmophobia menu right there in terms of choosing which relics to activate. The only way to unlock tiers is to pick relics. The more potent the relic, the more of the tier bar it unlocks. As you continue to play more curse matches, you'll find clues to unlock more relics. Rewards, aside from unearthing some fiendish challenges as you hunt down all 9 relics, there are fabled rewards to offer for those brave or deranged enough to complete Ashes of the Damned. Let me read through this. I was just trying to read everything and not really paying attention and retaining the information. There are fabled rewards to offer. Okay, so there's rewards depending on if you complete Ashes of the Damned at Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. Let's take a look at the Wonder Weapon customization in HUD. You can additionally select and inspect 3 handheld Wonder Weapons available at launch: the Ray Gun Mark II, and the Necro Fluid Gauntlet. And if you access the Career Challenges Mastery Badges menu, you'll see, in addition to the main weapons, melee weapons, and equipment, you now have mastery badges for Wonder Weapons, which is really, really cool. Of course, you got the classic Ray Gun. You got the Ray Gun Mark II, which was added towards the end of BO6. And then here is the Necro Fluid Gauntlet. Let's see what this has to bring. Okay, doesn't really explain what it is, but it looks like a zombie's Wonder Weapon, right? It looks really cool. Looks gross. Yeah, I'm excited to try this thing out. Here is the HUD, right? And a lot of people have had a lot to say. Of course, you got Ted or whoever is talking right here. And this is just the base one, right? I'm probably going to go switch to the classic HUD, bring the round down here, move this up, bring the perks over, right? Overall, I do like it, right? I like the dark ether kind of lightning here. Probably going to turn off the compass and the mini map. But I mean, you got the picture here. It would be cool if you had different, right? When you have different skins for your operators, if it changed down here, but I don't think it does. Overall, I don't hate it. Obviously, they're adding more HUDs throughout the year. That's a feature coming. But for what it is, I do like the look. Don't I like? I don't hate this down here in the bottom, right? Showing the weapon, obviously, how much is in your bullets, how much is in your reserve, if you're on your primary or secondary weapon, right? If it's pack-a-punched or not. I just wish this was kind of shrunk down a little bit, right? I feel like it's a little too big. It's just shrunk down a little bit, and who knows, could you still read it if it was shrunk down? But if it was just a little bit smaller but still readable, I think that would look much better because it does take up a bit of space on the HUD, but neither here nor there. I think it looks solid overall. But yeah, we have the settings interface, the gameplay HUD. Okay, yeah, recreating the Legacy Zombies HUD. This is probably what I'm gonna be rocking, right? The classic one, no compass, no mini map. We'll see if I want to put health bars on because sometimes they're nice for the special and the elite enemies. But yeah, here's the classic HUD. Then we have the intel, which I do enjoy going for the intel. I have every single piece of intel for BO6. And yeah, going to be going for it, obviously, in BO7 as well. Then, of course, you got Dead Ops Arcade 4. I'm not the biggest Dead Ops Arcade guy, right? Obviously started in BO1. It was in BO3, Cold War, and now here in Black Ops 7. But yeah, I'm not the biggest Dead Ops Arcade guy myself. But for those of you who are, yeah, here it is, just really, really quickly. But yeah, those are kind of my quick thoughts, my overview, my observations. Probably not very informative, right? I'm sure a lot of you know this already, and I'm sure I missed a bunch of stuff. But yeah, just kind of wanted to read this blog myself. Why not record myself doing it, give my thoughts on video, and we can come back and look at this a couple years down the road for the next Zombies release and see where I was right, where I was wrong. But yeah, anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Parker, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.